Hi, everybody. This is JoAnne Eisen with Reaching Unlimited. And Adrienne and I are here to have fun with you guys and do a card reading. So this is card reading night. It's open to whatever questions you may have. And until some people come on, Adrienne and I will talk and I'll turn my notifications off. Hi, Adrienne. Do you want to tell everybody a little about yourself? And thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah. So I'm Adrienne Cobb, and you can check out more that I offer on mywildmagic.com. I do personal readings with people, Vision Quest. I have a podcast on Transformation Talk Radio, and work with people on their soul blueprint, their family of light. And I love doing cards. So thank you so much for having me on, JoAnne.
You are very welcome. I didn't turn my light on, so I'm reaching right now. I am very excited to have you on to do this. It's so much fun to be able to do it. So I'm very excited. We have two people on. What happened?
It sounds silly, but my apartment people asked me to move all my bird feeders from the front.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding them now. I've been finding places to hide them, but today I moved them again. I'm hiding them on the back porch. Anyway, so they're all trying to get used to it. And I guess because the squirrels eat back there too, and they just jump, and it just kind of startled me because I'm like, what's back there? And it's just them jumping around trying to get to the new bird feeders. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I have to say this. Hi, Natalie. We'll get to reading in just a second. I was listening to a report on squirrels, and they said that the squirrel is the closest animal to humans. And the fact and the way that they interact with each other and the way that they interact with us. And usually they don't like to interact with us until they trust you, then they do interact with us, which is really amazing. I mean, I got to go read the whole article because I love squirrels. I know you love squirrels and you feed them.
I do. Yeah. Send it to me. Yeah. I have a whole little entourage of squirrels that have been with me for years now. And I mean, in the wintertime, they look pretty obese, like I might be giving them diabetes, but I'm like, I just can't stop feeding them. So what else? Anyway, so yeah, the squirrels are, they are friends. And I have a cat Lily, and they're used to all of us. So the hummingbirds, anyway, so I have a whole little ecosystem, but I've had to like reel it in a little bit so I don't get kicked out of the apartment complex. Because I had the raccoons going and all the birds and crows and pigeons, and everybody loved them, but they like, oh, there's too many rats. And I'm like, there's no rats. Besides, rats should eat too. I mean, why, corner the rats, make them wrong. Anyway, so whatever. We're ready.
We are ready. Okay. If you guys have questions, just put your question in the chat and we will do some readings tonight. So until we have questions, we'll sit here and chat about the squirrels and the rats.
Well, Natalie just saying hi, or is Natalie?
Natalie just said hi.
She's just saying hi, so.
Yeah, I haven't seen a question yet. There's 3 of you here, you guys. 3 of you. Come on, you have 2 of us here. Well, there's only 3 of you and 2 of us. That means you get a 2 for here. 2 for 1. No questions. What do you want? You want to read about something else until people start asking questions? How about social things, environmental things?
Yeah. So one thing that I've been really into personally lately is how that I would recommend to people to start doing is when they start to ground their energy, like however you might ground your energy, which I do recommend doing on a daily basis, whether you're standing outside or doing it in meditation or just sending a ray of light down into the planet, to start sending it in and connecting to the new earth energy. So, we've been on the earth, right, for so long, but because of the ascension timeline over the last couple of years, when I recently taught this last 21-day quest, which JoAnne and I were doing together, that the energy was we're really starting to need to harness our consciousness and to tune it into what the new earth feels like. And it feels lighter, brighter, better. And then you draw it back up through your body and it starts to really feed all the cells of your body and start to download your consciousness with new earth energy. And the new earth energy, just so you know about the harmonics of it, is learning your life lessons with joy, which are making compatible life choices, not choices that are opposite you or just like you, because there's different levels of soul growth, but compatible life choices, compatible life partners, compatible financial situations. So compatible energy that is going to help you learn more your life lessons through joy instead of hardship, pain, suffering, sorrow. And then the other aspect of the New Earth energy is harmony, the ray of harmony. So harmony, joy, compatibility, New Earth energy.
I love it. Okay. Hi, Marcia. And Natalie, you're making me chuckle. So I'm doing a reading from you. And we'll get back to that. I didn't just dismiss you and go, okay, well, we're moving on. But I do want to say hi to everybody. So maybe we'll do a few, let's do a reading for Natalie. And then we can do a reading on the New World energy.
Yeah, Natalie.
So, Natalie, I'm going to rephrase your question and ask your guides and your spiritual team, what do they want you to know? What is in your best and highest good? How about that? Marcia, make sure you ask a question, Missy. If you're ready, whenever you're ready. Adrienne.
So go ahead. Yeah, I'm good.
You're ready.
So the way I read with people is I always like starting with the soul energy. So you can ask a question, I'm happy to, try to navigate it in that direction. But usually I like talking to the soul directly because sometimes it has energy that, we're not always thinking about. So like with JoAnne asking, what do your guides have? It kind of raises that vibration, right? So Natalie, in your energy field, I have several decks here, but one of the decks is the Voyager Tarot cards, right? And excuse me. And so your first card here, listening to your soul energy field, is the Inventor. And that is Man of Crystals. And it is dealing with a sense, it feels like in your energy field, of being in a particular life cycle right now where you are in a sense maybe of trying to reinvent yourself and looking for new energy. And it feels like you're very specifically trying to reinvent yourself around positivity. It feels like you might have had a lot of negative energies in your life, maybe people, parents, etc., that kind of vibrate more in negative frequencies of energy. And at this point, it feels like you're just coming home to yourself, that you're really starting to learn who you are, and that who you are is actually kind of a pretty high vibe, more positive person. Even though the world might sometimes have, like watching the news or something be kind of negative, your energy's kind of up here. So in that frequency of you coming back home to you and starting to understand yourself, it feels like you're starting to reinvent yourself from the inside out and starting to notice and not judge and just be okay with, hey, this is who I am. And it might at times be a little bit Pollyanny, or it might at times be a little bit, rose-colored glasses. But the cool thing about it is you're reading frequencies from a higher vibrational energy. And that's why other people might not think it realistic. But for you, it's actually the higher self or the higher truth in the energy. The second card, I usually pull 3, is Equanimity. And the equanimity is 2 of crystals, and it's where you are learning how to balance your mental body. And I'd say probably between the polarities of negative, positive, and it feels like you're just coming back into your own self and more into the heart-centered energy. So having a clear mind, equanimity, balance, clarity in your mind, clarity of self, and it feels like your third eye and your ability to kind of see at a higher level is starting to clean. So like windshield wipers, kind of cleaning your third eye off there from all the human effluvia that's been kind of thrown your way, discord. And then the third card is the Surfer, and that is Man of Cups, where you're learning how to, in a sense, the Surfer card is all about the cups being in the emotional body, that you're learning to be in your own bliss. It's a card of focusing on your own bliss and learning how to surf the waves of emotions, but to never, to be surfing them, to stay on top of them all and not be taken down, partly because your empathy is so high, your capacity for empathy emotionally and heart. So you got both the heart empathy and the emotional empathy. And sometimes that feels like that throws you off a little bit, and then that'll drag your vibe down. But by cleaning up your third eye, seeing more lightly, focusing on your higher truth, and then being able to surf the emotions of others and stay in your own true higher bliss and follow your bliss.
Beautiful. And she said, yes, very much spot on. So very good. So I have something very similar. What I have for you is really, it's about shining your own light. Here we go, back to how to work this again. Shine your own light. And this is about your worthiness within yourself, how you feel like people are seeing you, but also it's more about how you see yourself and making sure that you're not seeing yourself through the eyes of other people, projection, but that you're seeing the eyes, that you're seeing through your own eyes about who you really are as a soul, like Adrienne said, right? It's about the soul of who you are and how you move forward in life. Because I feel like you've had a lot of people in your life that haven't really been supportive of you. And so you feel like you're being sucked dry of your life energy, of the things that you want to do and move forward, that you feel like you're stuck there and you can't really move forward. As you can see here, which I don't usually point out, is that she's got this kind of fear with her in her face about the people around her, because I feel like you've had people that really haven't honored and respected you. But you've learned from these particular situations. You've grown from them, and you've been able to rise above that. So you've planted new seeds. You've planted new things for you to do, but yet you're still a little bit shy about moving forward and doing them. So it's about trusting that you've already planted this seed. You've already grown it, and it's starting to come into fruition, the things that you want. But don't be afraid of that. Don't go back into that fear, right? That people are going to pull you down. Trust that you can move forward because you've already done the work and you are going to be moving forward, right? You're transitioning from where you were to where you're actually going. And you're really going to go into that, like the high priestess is like the be all and make all. This is where you're going. You're going into the higher powers of who you are and the higher vibrational resonance of who you are. So just keep moving forward and don't look back. Like really come back into, this is really your base card. Honor and respect who you are, and know that you have this worthiness. You were born, that's your birthright to do what you are here to do. So just trust that, because you definitely are moving forward. So have confidence in that. So Marsha would like to know what her guides, let's see, what do my guides want me to know about how to get back on track spiritually? Very good. I'm glad, Natalie, that was helpful for you. What does Marsha need to know about getting back on track spiritually?
You want to go first, JoAnne?
No, I have to pull cards. Have you pulled cards?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so Marsha, in your energy field, listening to you on a soul level, when it comes to your spirituality, that it really feels like you're a very heart-centered person, and that you listen through the heart, you see through the eyes of the heart, you're heart-centered, and really getting back on track just with, it almost feels like you need to like make time for your heart, asking the question, maybe what's most loving for me, but also just even how do I feel? Because sometimes asking the question, how do I feel, will help you just be more heart-centered within yourself, because you're giving yourself that attention. Now I've switched over to the angelic messenger cards. Yep. And the card that came in for you actually was love. And most of all, really, and these cards are kind of cool because they work with the flowers, the Davic and flower nature kingdom, as well as the angels. So they're kind of like angels working through the nature kingdom. So the energy, again, with the love, in this case, feels like it's more about self-love, coming back to loving yourself. And like I said, one way of doing that is asking, how do I feel? You'd be amazed at how good it feels just to, when you wake up in the morning or you're midway through your day or before you go to bed, just ask the question, how do I feel? Not about anything in general, just how do I feel? And that's you connecting on a soul level. So anytime we're talking about self-love and how do I feel and all that, you're moving more into your soul body and working more on the level of the soul. There's a really good book, actually, if you wanted to expand into doing more work around your soul. It's called Soul Love by Sanaya Roman, Roman. So Soul Love by Sanaya Roman. And it teaches you how to be in relationship to your soul. And it feels like you'd actually just really have a blast doing that. But it would also heighten your intuition about your relationship to life instead of your heart maybe always having to gauge how other people feel to know how you feel, you'd be knowing how do I feel reference to the world. It's a different reference point. And particularly for people who are empathic and heart-centered, they usually want to know, oh, how can I help that person? How can I make them more comfortable? How can I do something for them? And we leave ourselves out. So self-time, walk in nature, ask how you feel, love, self-love.
I love that. And I used Earth Magic, which I think is very funny because of what your reading was about Earth. What I got for you is really sitting in the stillness. And for you, it's like, look how peaceful that environment is. And there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to do. The boat is sitting still. It's not going anywhere. Everything is still. So it really is about you sitting in that stillness, like what Adrienne was talking about, and being able to go within and see what is the most loving thing for you. What is the thing that you really want to do? Because you've got the will, you've got the way, you've got the spiritual backing. Because FYI, I know Marsha very well. Clearly, you all know. And but you have all this backing behind you, and you're not trusting it because of a lot of things that are going on. And I feel like this is all about you're being directed. It's not about you feeling like you're off track or going in the wrong direction. You're being directed in the way that you need to go. And you have to trust that because you do have a lot of magic around you. You have the magic to be able to produce almost anything you want to produce. But right now you're going through that time where you're needing to go inward, not go outward. So this is about your inner growth. And this is about your inner being, not about the things that you would do outside of yourself. So this now is about allowing the guides and the spiritual team and you to connect again back to what you really want to do. It's releasing all of your old stories, all of the old things that were keeping you back, all the old programs that you had in your mind, and really going back to that passion, the great passion that is within you that I know that you have, that you want to do within your life. And it really is about relationships. Relationships to you are really, really important. And I know through COVID, for all of us, it's been very difficult, but you're going to come out of this. You have the wherewithal to be able to come through that. And it's about not worrying about everything. Now, think about a whale. A whale is such a huge, giant creature, which you have this huge, giant personality and love. And the calmness of a whale and how a whale just takes care of things and is very compassionate and very loving. And that's who you are. And it's about you being able to go back to that part of yourself and trusting that part of yourself. And really, it's going to be a slow journey for you, I think, because you've got some inner work to do, but you're going to get back to where you want to be. You really haven't lost where you want to be. If you think about a whale is like a whale and I think an elephant are like the two closest, two closest things to the spiritual world and in their vibration. And you really are that close. So you haven't lost that connection to spirit. You're just now working. Like I was telling someone the other day about my meditations. I think it was you, Adrienne. I don't remember. Probably was about how my meditations are kind of wonky right now until I finally realized that all I have to do is show up. Then spirit does the rest. And I feel like between the tortoise and the whale and really the woman and your beauty, all of these cards, it's about...
You pulled every card in all your decks. You got 9 decks rolling, JoAnne.
I know. It's about that beauty that is within you. And you have it all the time. It's just right now you're taking this time with your team to do more inner work than the outer work. So use that time to the best of your ability. I hope that helps.
How could it not? That was such awesome information. You just streamlined that. Girl, you got it going on, JoAnne. Wow. Marsha, wow.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Marsha and Natalie, come on. Guys, there's 4 of you here. Who has a question?
So, yeah. So while we're waiting on somebody, do you want to do the Earth one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was pulling one while you were doing that, but so when it comes to we had started when we were waiting for people to ask questions, asking about the new Earth energy and what this new Earth energy, any kind of reading we can do based on that, about how when you do come into alignment with yourself, or you're just, meditating the day or outside walking or whatever, to focus your energy grounding into the new earth. So not just on grounding to the earth, but ground to the new earth energy, and then draw it back up through you. And there's these frequencies coming in of learning your life lessons with joy, making compatible life choices that resonate with you at your highest vibrational resonance, and the energy of harmony, that rainbow ray of harmony is coming onto the planet. So the reading that showed up on my end actually is the Legacy of Light. And it's kind of cool because the cards I'm working with here is Sacred Rebel Oracle. So the Sacred Rebels Oracle card, right? But the card happens, see the back of the card is exactly like the card deck. And when I pulled, it just happens to be that card. I'm like, it's like so much fun for me. So I'd say for one, we should all be sacred rebels. That's a sign right there, right? And since we got the whole lineup of energy on these particular cards. So be your sacred rebel self for sure. And the energy of a legacy of light, the way I kind of see this one coming in is that we're looking at the evolutionary energy of our humanity, where we have the indigo, souls that came into the planet, and then it came into the crystal beings and the rainbow, the rainbow crystal children, and then the diamond and the golden. So I think that these are all the lineages of where we're bringing in this energy onto the planet. So at the ascension timeline, we're doing really, really well with the golden children, which are the Gen Zs. They're the ones from 2015 and up. And that all the indigo people and all the indigo children and adults, that we're all upgrading our life force energy in this ascension new earth energy, that we're all being upgraded and able to bring on some of these higher soul attributes and qualities of spirit into this new earth energy. But you have to be grounded in it. Ground yourself in the new earth energy and just let your colors fly. So there you have it.
I love that. Yes, Pam, you could just put your question in there and we will ask your question. I'm so happy to see you. So what I got was very similar. It's about sleep. It's not about like going to sleep, right? But it is about resting from the journey that we traveled from and going into the new way of living that we're going into. So this isn't about the actual sleeping, but it is about the resting and the going within and taking care of yourself as you travel through this change, because there's a change. It's a big shift. And so this is about the more inward part of your journey, not the outward part, very much like with what happened with our, Marsha's reading. It's about the rest that we have within ourselves and the journey that we've already taken. The next part of it is ruminating, like just listening, paying attention to what we've traveled through. What do we experience? What were our lessons that we learned? And where do we go from here? Where's our next step going to be, right? This is really important to put together because this is where we've been going into where we're going, the new way of being. So this is about really just listening to what's happening around you, listening to your body, what works for you. It's about listening to what my next step is. This isn't about jumping, right? Sleeping is not about jumping. This is about, you've already done the work. You're resting now. You're like, you go to bed at night. That's when we do our astral traveling. That's when we do our rejuvenation. That's when we are getting ready for the next day. That's what we're doing here as we ruminate about what we've experienced, what we've learned, and where we want to go. And then it's about being clear about what we've learned and what really is important to us. This isn't about any more of, what do I have to do to make somebody else happy? This is about what am I here to do? What do I really want to do with this next phase that we're going into? And with that, it's about trusting yourself. It's not about second guessing yourself anymore. This is about the work that you've already done. Now you're going into this next phase where you get to express what it is that you want to express. And it's being able to have that confidence and the faith that you already know what steps to take. So that's what I came up with.
Excellent. Yes. Love it, love it, love it.
So,
yeah. So Pam hasn't actually asked a question, but I'm wondering if we can go ahead and jump into a reading with her. Like, again, just kind of listen on a soul level. But yeah, is that a yes or a no, Pam? Would you like some information, or you just want to kind of hang out and sort of kind of just listen in for a while, or
I think Pam wants a reading.
what do you say, Pam? What's going on with you? Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. Yep. Just
Okay.
make sure we
Do
have
you have
your here.
Do you have a question, Pam? Specific question? Or do you want just a general question? What works for you?
On a soul level, some information has come in.
Okay.
And then if you have a direct question, just put it in a little chit chat box there. Okay, so all right. So Pam, in your energy field, this is going back to the Voyager cards. That's right. So the Voyager cards again. Okay. And in your energy field, the first thing showing up in your energy field is honoring who you are in your own living mastery, right? So really being in that energy within yourself where you've kind of come to your own. You've come into your own, and it's a great time because we're in this new earth energy, right? So you can't have a better time to kind of come into yourself here and to know your own mastery and to really have faith and to trust yourself. It feels like, Pam, that you have kind of an energy of a claircognizant sort of knowing. So that's a type of intuition that operates from the crown chakra, the seventh chakra. And it's where you just have you know things without knowing how you know it. You just know it, right? Sometimes that can be a little harder because you can say, oh, I got a vision, or I heard an angel, or I felt it in my heart. It's just, I know. Right. So in this case, you do have that knowingness. It feels like that claircognizant knowingness about people and about life and stuff like that. So really trusting your mastery around that energy. Part of your mastery then, as you are stepping into being your master self and the years of all that you've kind of learned and gained in your soul's wisdom, is the energy of, I'm like trying to get my angle right here, the energy of being the priestess. So it's that higher knowing. Again, it's that it feels like you have incredibly clear sight to the point that it can sometimes maybe make people a little uncomfortable. So you have that claircognizant, you know somebody, maybe even times better than what they know themselves. Then you have this clairvoyant energy, the priestess archetype, who can see straight through a person, straight into their soul, straight into their energy field, know if they're lying, know if they're not, just that knowingness energy that again can be almost kind of penetrating through a person's masks and the energy that they throw out to the world. But then as you're becoming maybe more conscious and comfortable and trusting yourself around all that, your own inner guidance is the card of the Sage of Wands, the seer. And the seer, again, it literally burns through energy. So it gives you clear sight in a way that just burns through all the illusions and the human effluvia and the dross and the projections. I mean, we get so involved with our energy. And what we do from the inside out is we send energy like, these are the things I want you to know about me, and I'm going to project it out. These are the things I don't want you to know about me, and I'm going to project it out. So the inside of my aura has all these pictures all over it that I want you to see or not see. On the outside of my aura is all the things that people have projected onto me, things that they like, things that they don't like, whatever. So that field of energy can be very convoluted. And sometimes, unfortunately, we buy our own stories too. Right? Well, what you do is you see straight through the veil, straight into that person's energy field. And in doing that, it can sometimes flip people out a little bit, I think. You know what I mean? And the bigger issue is that where you had that really incredible, very clear gift as a child, particularly with your mother, where it seems like in your mom's energy field that you were that might have kind of scared her or put her off a little bit. And you may have learned to almost kind of dumb down that gift, not to have a repercussion or a backlash from her. So I would say, you might want to do a little bit inner work around that with your mom to call your power back specifically. But overall, just owning this gift is pretty cool.
I love that. Hi, Brenda. If you have a question, just put it in the chat. Anybody here, if you have a question. So for me, I feel like Spirit's giving you a kick in the pants. We'll put it that way. I know that you are you're very connected is what I want to say. You're very connected and you know where you want to go, but I feel like you're going through a little bit of a more challenging time right now. and you're not really, I feel like there's some kind of like, I don't know if you're building something, creating something new. There's something new that's going on, but you're not moving forward with it. You're holding yourself back. And you already know, it's like what Adrienne said, you already have this stuff inside of you. I feel like you are a truth sayer. You can go out there and you can just like part the seas and make things happen, but you're holding yourself back for some reason. And it's not about, if you're not shining your light, then you're not helping people to see what it is that you have to give, but you're not also helping them to find their path and the direction that they're going. So moving forward is something that's really important for you right now. It is, you can go back. To me, this is more about nurturing your soul, nurturing who you are. But I don't feel like you have much time to do that, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff for you to do. Like, you know, you can just grab onto something and chew on it and know what to do with it and make it work. So don't sit on things too long. I feel like you're dragging your feet and you're not wanting to move forward, but you have the ability to be able to move forward. And I feel like there's too much within your own head. The mental part of you is going on, and you need to just allow that to go, because you know what to do. You're very capable of doing it, and you're holding yourself back. So don't worry about it. Don't keep yourself back. You're going to have great success, right? Because you're very motivated. You're very hardworking. You know what you need to do. You know how to get there. But there's something going on with you mentally. There's something going on within you that's holding you back. You're really being asked to move forward. So don't worry about that. You have the strength and the power behind you, but you have to trust that you have that strength and that power to move forward. So really go back into like the reading about the new earth, right? It's about going back into the quietness of what you've learned and being able to move forward then, and how you're going to project that or show that to the people around you. Very capable. I love this card. Look at how beautiful this card is with the strength, because you've got the angel, you've got the angel above the tiger, and almost like butterfly wings that are just supporting everything that you're doing, and the moon that's there, which to me is not about an illusion. It's about the intuitive side of yourself. This is very much about the strength of your intuition and the strength of the gifts that you have to move forward. And it's just ever so, I feel like it's, for you right now, it's just ever so subtle, but it's definitely growing in severity and in its power. So trust that that's growing and that you're being supported in this. So definitely, I think your main subject is you're getting a kick in the butt. Just get moving, move forward. I don't know if that resonates with you, but that's what I came up with.
We all need a kick in the butt sometimes. There ain't nothing like it, right? Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So Brenda, new person.
Okay. Yes,
Brenda, are you, do you want a reading? Because we got information for you if you want it. Just, again, a yay or nay.
I'm glad that helps, Pam. I'm glad the spirit's been talkative to you. Are you listening? I hope that you're listening. I'm not sure what to ask, but my kid's dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer yesterday. Wow, that's really, I'm sorry to hear that. Very, very sorry.
Yeah, that's got a lot of energy to it for sure. In your personal energy, you've got a lot of angels around you. That was the first thing that came up for you, that it feels like you yourself actually are an angel in human form. So the tribe of light that you work with is the angelic tribe of light. And if anybody's wanting to know more about your tribe of light, you can go to mywildmagic.com. I have a free quiz. Check out your tribe of light. Brenda, yours happens to be a lot of angels. And so you do have a lot of angels around you right now and around your family. And so because of that, we were pulling the angelic messenger cards. So again, that's these particular cards there. And it's interesting. So the card that showed up for you, just sort of tuning into you, was also love. So, I mean, I swear to you that I do have the entire deck of angel cards, but shuffling them all, that the love card came up again. But yours is a little bit different than the ways Marcia shows up. In your energy field, Brenda, it feels like you have so much love to give, actually. Again, highly empathic, and sometimes that might burn you out if you're not staying balanced, but it feels like you have an enormous amount of love to give. And that really helps you a lot to actually manage your grief and work with that. And so when it comes to your kid's father, which I'm assuming you're not in relationship with, or maybe you're divorced or something, but in that energy, I would ask your angels to go forth and bless them. It doesn't have to be you personally necessarily, because you don't want to get too overly involved in the process of what he's going through, because this is part of his soul lesson of whatever he's going through. But for you to at least send your angels to bless him might cause you to feel more peace. And you can also bless your kids, but call the angels in to bless the whole family unit. And, in his energy field, it feels like he is carrying a lot of layers of grief that he may have never quite processed through, that he got from the lineage on his mom's side of his family. So dealing with his mother and that lineage going back quite a bit, there's some unprocessed grief there, and maybe even some lung sensitivities that he kind of genetically sort of got on that side of the family. But particularly the layers of grief is a big deal. And, him as a soul, this is actually so beautiful, but it's like he's willing to actually sacrifice his life to take out the karma on that lineage, so his kids don't have to carry it. And it is costing him his life, but in his soul's energy field, listening to his higher self and his guides, that he had rather do that than not. So consciously, a lot of people aren't aware sometimes of what happens, but the way his soul is evolving is it is an absolute selfless gift that he's doing on behalf of his kids and the generation moving forward, by taking the karma that has been accrued through many generations out with him, so that nobody else has to hold it. So
That's really emotionally. I got something pretty similar to that. If you guys have questions, put it in there and we'll try to keep up with them. And then we'll go to doing just one a person now. So what I have for you, Brenda, is about feeling entrapped, like feeling stuck and not knowing what way to go or what to do. I feel like with you, this isn't about his journey. It's about your journey and your journey to move forward. I feel like he's a teacher to you and has been a teacher to you in many, many ways. But for you now, don't allow the situation to make you feel like you're entrapped or that you're stuck or that you have to do something. It has to come from within you in what really is the best and highest good for you. And that doesn't always mean selfish, right? It's just that's how we do the best work that we can do, is by really going into our heart space and doing what is the most loving thing for ourselves, because then we're doing it out of pure love and not out of resentment or feeling the need to do it. We're doing it because we know this is our real heart's desire and what's really right for us to do. So don't allow yourself to go into an old pattern or an old thinking in any way. I feel like this is something you can easily do quite often. It's really having the faith that you know what direction to go and you know how to be of service. This is about not feeling like you have to do something. This is about going back within yourself and finding, how can I be of service? What is the best way for me to be of service? And you're actually going to know what that is. Don't try to make it up or feel like you have to do something. Really follow the guidance of your team. Really follow your soul's desire, because that's what's going to help you to help everybody as you're helping this situation in any way that you do, whether it be stand back or be a part of it, or however you move forward with this whole situation. And also, this isn't just this situation, it's other parts of your life. It's about you doing what's the most honorable thing for you, which is only going to heal and help the people around you. And that's what you have to really focus on and remember. You can't do something out of guilt, or you can't do something out of obligation. You have to do it because it's really coming from within yourself. Because if you don't, then you're going to be self-sabotaging yourself, and you're going to go down a spiral of depression and anger and frustration, instead of, if you're doing it from a place that's really coming from that heart center, from your self-love, that unconditional love, then that's when you're not going to be sabotaging yourself. Everything you do is going to be exuding just pure love and pure support and pure help for your kids and for him and for the people that you come in contact with. It's really, I feel like for me, it's really about not feeling entrapped and not sabotaging yourself, because the last card is about taking the mask off. Don't be what other people want you to be. Be truly who you are, because who you are is this beautiful soul who has so much love and so much caring. And you can support people, I think, in ways that you have no idea that you even can, or that you even have thought of. So if you are able to just trust who you are internally, naturally, and I love the angelic energy around you, then you're going to do what is the most honoring for the people around you and the people that you come in contact with. So this really is not only a journey for your family, but it's very much a journey for you about, no, don't put yourself in a box. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't make you wrong. But do the things that are really natural for you to do, that you're being led to, and that you feel a real desire to do. If you're feeling any kind of negative resistance in that, take a step back and think about what is the most honoring. Because if you stay within that thought pattern, then you're going to do what is going to actually benefit everybody. So I hope that helps. And I'm very sorry.
And you got a huge heart. It's enough to encompass the entire situation and be balanced in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Phyllis, I think Phyllis was next, if she could have a reading.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Adrienne?
Yeah. Go ahead. Jennifer's energy lit up for me.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Phyllis.
No. You do Jennifer. I'll do Phyllis.
Okay. So Jennifer, in your energy field, the card deck we're using in your energy field is the Sacred Rebels Oracle cards. And in your energy, what was showing up is going beyond normal, right? So going beyond normal. And for you, it feels as though your energy has an enormous empowerment to it already, that you came in super high consciousness. It feels like you have a strong lineage in your past lives where you have actually worked a lot with living and ascended masters in the past. That it feels like you do have a certain connection to the energy of Isis, to the Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary energies. It feels like you have worked also maybe with some of the Mayan energies, and some, just honestly, a whole lot of different types of higher consciousness communities throughout time, really, and that you've been exposed to a lot of high teachings in that energy. So going beyond, it feels like, is actually giving yourself permission to be able to listen to the energy that you already have, this higher knowing. It's like just all this wisdom about the earth and about the family of humanity and about the nature of human beings and people and the earth and the world, and being able to share that without hesitation, and giving yourself credit that the wisdom and the awareness you have isn't necessarily all from this lifetime's worth of experience. It's coming from many, many different lifetimes of experience, and that you are still very much tapped in to the Hathors that come out of the Egyptian temples, and Isis, which comes out of the Egyptian temples, and the whole, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, other different master teachers, some in the Tibets. It feels like some Kuan Yin, but you are very well versed, and you've spent a lot of lifetimes really picking very wisely before you came into a lifetime the path you wanted that would be the most direct path to be of highest service to the planet by gaining wisdom and raising your own consciousness. And it feels like just even hanging out with you has the ability to raise other people's awareness and to wake them up, to cause an awakening. So any kind of work that you ever did with healing work, therapy work, counseling work, anything like that, it feels like you'd be super gifted at. But the ability to just even sit with people, you have these doorways, these portals that come in and start talking through you. So some of them are angelic, some of them are ascended masters, some of them are different galactic councils and planetary light beings and star beings. So you work with a lot of the different tribes of light, and they all kind of converge through your energy because you've done such a good job cleaning up your own personal energy field each and every lifetime that you're like a very clear conduit for them to work through and for others to receive the message from as well. So that's what comes in on your energy field.
Wow, there's a lot of really big things. I am so
want to
sorry
elaborate.
that your daughter and your father and your brother passed. That is a lot to deal with. That is just crazy. I'm so sorry. I mean, we know that, death is going home, but it makes it very difficult for us here. And I just send you so much sympathy, as well as, Brenda lost a daughter as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what you said.
So while we have this whole group energy opened, I think really we should like call into that pure love and light of source energy and the archangelic and the essential angels and the unknown angels to really come in to bless all of our energies of how we're moving forward in the midst of all these life transitions. It feels like all of us, that may be one thing that all of us have in common, is we're in the middle of life transitions right now on some level, whether it's through death and dying or something more personal, relationships, living, whatever. And the essential angels can come in with a lot of comfort, peace, wisdom to help us navigate this energy, as well as the unknown angels to let us know that it's okay stepping into the unknown and the letting go and the transitions that are occurring as well. And it feels like, yeah.
Wow. They're so young. There's something unfinished with you. I have to sit with that, Jennifer. Let me sit with that for a minute. I feel like there's something unfinished with you. So, okay. So for Phyllis, it's very interesting because I feel like for you, you've come like full circle. Like you've gone through the reins. You've dealt with the things that you've had to deal with for now. You've gone through, like, you're coming to the end of a journey and you're in that respite period before you move on. So take this time to really honor really the road that you've traveled and the lessons that you've learned and how you have, I feel like you've really taken on that journey and you've embraced it and you've been able to see the wisdom through it. And I feel like this has not been an easy journey for you to travel through it. And as we can see here, a lot of us have not traveled easy journeys. But we have to remember that through the traveling of these journeys is how we create our character, the lessons of our life and the being of who we are. We're never going to stay where we're at right now. We're always going to be learning through all different kinds of avenues. I feel like you've taken a pretty hard travel, though, to get to where you're going, but it has served you very well. It has served you well because it's really helped you to be very sharp and very astute. Like you're listening to what's going on around you. You're listening to what's happening. You're not just putting your head in the sand and hiding. Like I used to say that when I first started working with Adrienne many, many, many years ago, that I felt like an ostrich, that I would just have my head in the sand and I would just hope everything would go away because I just didn't want to deal with it. But we can't do that. That's not life. Life will happen. And so it's how we develop through these situations and how we learn. And I feel like you really have created really good, sharp instincts, and trust those instincts, because I feel like they are going to serve you very well in this next phase of your life, because it's really helped you to communicate better. Not only communicate to the people around you, but also you have great communication going on with your team, and you're very close to your team. I'm not sure if you know that, but I think you do know that. I think that you're very aware of it. And so it's continuing on that development that they're taking you on, and the journey that you're going on to be able to go to this next phase. And I feel like the next phase isn't going to be as hard as the first phase. I feel like it's going to be a lot easier for you, but you're going to have to always be using these two gifts that you've learned through that travel, because the sun is really going to shine on you again. But it's not about the sun shining on you. It's what you've learned that you're going to share with other people. You're going to exude out from you all of these gifts to be able to share with other people, your lessons that you've learned through your travels. And you've taken that journey to be able to help people as you travel through your latter part of your years. So really honor and take all that on, because you've got a new, like, fall is about getting rid of the old and bringing in the winter, right? Where we go back and we do our rejuvenation, and then we're ready to go into spring, where we just like get to life again, get back to business. This is about you renewing. This is about you going back into, what does that look like for you? What is the direction that you're going to go when you do come back to life in spring? Because I feel like you're not completely done with the beginning of your travels. I feel like even though you've learned, you still have some things that you're doing. So I feel like during this whole next couple months, it's going to be about you just really going within and really taking inventory of what it is that you've learned and the lessons that you've experienced, and how you can help and shape and mold other people to not have to experience what you've experienced, and be able to share with them the wisdom that you've gained through your process. I do feel like you're very much a wise person, and something that the kind of person that people would want to come to and talk to. So go into, I think for the next couple of months, really go into really knowing who you are and the lessons that you've learned during this road that you've traveled, because I feel like it all has come together and you understand it. But I feel this is your time to kind of like rest, figure it out, understand it, and then be able to, because I feel like you're going to be a lion within a couple months, like especially spring, just a lion ready to jump forward and move forward in that part of your life.
Yeah.
Pat, absolutely. You can have a reading.
So it looks like Bridget was next.
Okay.
Okay.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me go back.
Okay.
Sure, but yeah.
So Bridget, I will take this one. All right. So Bridget, in your energy field, we're working with the Voyager Tarot cards, right? And you got 3 major arcanas all in one reading, which is pretty cool. And they're all, I mean, amazing. It's just so expansive. It's like being on your Jupiter line or whatever. It's just like this, all this expansive energy. So the first card that comes up in your energy field is the card of Fortune. I'm trying to get mine. Okay. And in the card of Fortune, it deals with the Wheel of Fortune and shifting from one life path to a new life path, that you're really ready to step forward and align your energy more, it feels like, with your true self. So this new life path feels like it's about being on time and really listening and making congruent choices that you're thinking, feeling, seeing, hearing, acting upon, intending, all energy that is in alignment to your true self, your true presence, right? And so you really do want to maybe kind of slow down and ask, do I feel congruent in all parts of myself? If any part of you is hesitating, don't make the decision or wait till you're completely congruent. You know what I mean? Because as you're moving from this life path to the new one, and it's such a high vibration that you're moving into, like it's a major energy shift, then you want to make sure that you take your time to really make sure that you're in alignment with yourself and don't feel rushed. It feels like you might have a tendency sometimes to rush yourself, move a little too quickly, push energy, that kind of thing. And this would be like, oh, I'm going to kick back and think about this for 24 hours or a week or two or whatever. And, you know, you're on universal timing right now. So that's all fine. So anyway, shifting life paths. Now, the cool thing about the Fortune card, we're going to go ahead and call forth the Archangel Fortunata, who governs the energy of good fortune, good karma, good luck. So we're going to go ahead and call that in, to go ahead and bless you in the energy with that is the Archangel Fortunata. And while we're at it, let's just bless all of us with the Archangel of Fortunata coming in, just blessing all of us in the transitions that we're in as well. So you're kind of carrying that, and your good energy, your good fortune is actually going to bless others. Just like what I was saying now, hey, we're all being blessed just even by being in the energy of what's coming in and blessing you. It's like it's a blessing that just goes all the way out around the earth, and then you can open up into that circuitry, love and above energy coming back, but good fortune heading your way, and it's because you're changing your life path. The second part of that energy is the energy of the universe. So you have the whole universe backing you, that you could literally ask for anything, and you're in a really good position in your life right now, a lot of clarity, to be able to ask for what you want from your heart, from your true self, and have it manifest on your behalf, with the universe, that pure love and light, that source energy really coming forward for you. And to not limit yourself, that you're living right now in a position of pure potential. In any place maybe in your mind where you kind of make up a story, hold yourself back, make up excuses, I would try to let all that go, that anything is possible right now. Anything is possible in love or above energy. And the way for you to have love or above energy, to be resonating to it, is to keep focusing on your higher self, your true presence, and asking what's most meaningful to my true presence. That's what I want to ask for. And the universe is like, spot on, girl, we're good with you. We're gonna come forth and do that, right? Okay, now the final card then in your energy field is the Art card, which is yet another major arcana. And the Art card is about being the divine architect of your life. So you basically, at this point, moving forward, new earth energy, new energy for you, that from the energy of your true self and your higher self, your true presence energy, you're able to get very clear and still within yourself and say what you want to the universe. And then as you say it, you are basically the dreamer of your life right now. You're the one imagining it. And then the source energy, the universal energy, comes in and grounds it and starts to manifest it for you with all of your tribes and councils of light. So being the sacred archetype, so it's the sacred architect of your life, you're literally building your life with your own hands. You're able to step out on your own, have faith in yourself, have faith in new projects, new businesses, new relationships, new ventures, new anything that you can think of. But this is a time actually for you to dream big and to imagine beyond your own fears or hesitations. Just dream big. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And with the Art card, again, you're using the priestess archetype, the priestess energy, to see the higher truth of what you want and then manifest it, knowing that the universe is backing you and you got good fortune and you're on a whole new life path. Ta-da! We're done.
I love it. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
good. I want a reading like that. Hi, Marianne. I am reading for Pat, and thank you, Carol. I was going to ask you if you wanted a reading, and she said she did. So
yeah, I got Carol's pulled because I got lost in the thing. Are you doing? Which one are you doing though? Are you
doing Pat. Yeah, no, I'm going to do Pat right now. Okay. So for you, Pat, I feel like you've been through a lot again. Definitely, you've been through some trials and tribulations, and you're kind of lost in, where am I going? What am I doing? How do I move forward? So it's like you've gone through that. Now you get to create your life. What do you want to create? How do you want to create it? Where do you want to go? What do you want it to look like? I feel like you're going through that phase right now of really not knowing, what are the questions and what are the answers. This is about really trusting that you have a path that is specific for you, and that you need to start asking the questions, journaling, trying new things. Because I feel like there's very much a healer, but I feel like with you, the healing is coming from your words more than it would be in another way. I feel like words are something that you would be really, really good at, something that you, like an inspirational speaker or writing a book or doing a show or something along that lines. I feel like you would be beautiful with your words, because I feel like you have a lot of wisdom behind you, and it's something that you can really share and that you can help people with. This is again about like going out there and slaying the dragons within your mind, not getting so caught up in your mind that you can't move forward. It's about really um, um, going back into the heart's desire. What do you really want to do? What were you here to do? Because you know what, we all came and we know what we wanted to do. It's just that we lost our way. But we always have these nudges and this help along the way to get back on track to the direction that we want to go. And you definitely can get back on track. I feel like with you, though, you're feeling kind of lost. Like, where do I go? How do I get there? What do I really want in my life? How do I know what it looks like? How do I know what it feels like? Ask for help. There's people around you that can help you, mentors, teachers, examples of other people. Pay attention to what people are doing. Like, oh, I feel like you need to be like, if you can see, there's that fish out there. But what struck me about that is the radar. I don't know why the fish made me think of radar, but it's like opening your ears, that radar, that listening tone to what really is resonating with you and what makes your heart sing. Because I feel like there's still some things that you haven't experienced or you haven't thought of that you can do that will really create this life that you really want to have. But I feel like a part of this, right, is about you having that trust and that faith to be able to move forward and ask for help. I do feel like there's a sense of stubbornness with you, and maybe a little bit of fear of asking people for help, having people around you that will help you with the direction you want to go. I feel like there's a little bit of that going on with you, but it's about never doubting yourself. Don't doubt the abilities that you have, because you have this beautiful soul. You have this beautiful gift that you can share with people, and you really have this desire to do that. So trust that part of yourself. Trust that you can move forward and you can create the life that you want to have. But I feel like, again, it's coming back to you need help in the direction. Don't do it alone. Ask for the people around you, what they see in you. You know, I was talking to somebody who said they put in their Facebook all of their friends to put something about that person that all of her friends liked about her. And she was blown away at the end of what everybody said. But what really was fascinating by it is it was something that she already knew. There were things that she already knew, but she didn't believe. And so by doing that, she ended up seeing this pattern come up in her feed. And it really gave her the confidence to do what it was she really wanted to do anyway. So she ended up getting that validation through this experiment that she just whimsically did on Facebook. And it really ended up turning out really good. So I feel like that's something that you might want to do. I feel like the worst is behind you. Move forward in confidence that the worst is behind you, that you've already done the hard work. Now it's time for you to build and have this next part of your life. Again, there's a pattern here of the things that really are going to make you happy. Do what your heart really wants to do. Don't do the things that you don't want to do. Follow your heart's desire. And with that, that's so funny. So you could take this in a negative, but I'm not taking this as a negative. I'm taking this as again, it's that listening. It's, I saw or heard the sonar, right? Like really listening in the ocean. And this is like listening in the air, paying attention. Because if you think about it, bats really have good hearing. So I feel like your message is to really listen, really pay attention to the things that are going on around you. Don't let it go by. Really pay attention to it, because you're going to start picking up things that you have not. I feel like there's something for you that you haven't thought of or you haven't experienced yet. So be open to something new, because I feel like you're very creative, and I feel like you're very good and astute at being able to see, oh, I think I would like that, and trying it. So try a bunch of new things, get people around you that will help you, get a mentor if you don't have a mentor, somebody who can really help you with understanding some of the nuances, the changes, I think the maybe slight tweaks that you need to take to be able to move forward. I feel like you're just going to open up, and it's going to be like was it Ariel? A Whole New World? Yes, Ariel said. I'm not going to sing it, but you get the point, as she's sitting on the rock and the wind and the water's blowing. It's a whole new world. I feel like that's in front of you. Like you got that coming. So I hope that helps. I hope you were here, Pat. I hope I didn't do that whole thing to nothing.
It'll probably be recorded, right?
It's recorded.
Okay.
What are you going to work on now?
Carol, I saw Carol.
Okay. Carol?
Cool cares, and I might swing back around to Vivian. I know there's a few other people too that came on that I lost track of, but so Carol.
Okay, wait, before you go, let me, you guys, if you haven't gotten a reading and you would like a reading, can you please put in the chat now so we can get to you, because there's been a lot of chat going on. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so Carol, in your energy field, we're reading from the Voyager Tarot cards, right? And also the Angelic Messenger cards. So you kind of have a little bit of both going on there. So the first card showing up in your energy field was the Tower card. And this is a card that it's all about letting go of anything that no longer serves you in your life and just coming into a full surrender of everything that you might be hanging on to. Particularly around your identity, your own self-identity, what you think about yourself, thought forms, belief systems, emotions, things that you might, just sort of hang on to or judge yourself for. And that sometimes also in the Tower card is going to require you letting go of other things as well that you might be ready to let go of. It might even be a good time to do kind of a Marie Kondo sort of flush through your house and just get rid of anything that doesn't bring you joy. That would also be a good way of just willingly surrendering anything that no longer serves you, that's just kind of hanging out. Because the rule of thumb about anything in your environment is that every tangible object that is in your home, you are literally using some of your life force energy to sustain it. And for you, it feels like you're letting go of a lot of old energy. And so things in your house that may remind you of old situations, you might want to go ahead and let go of as part of your new kind of surrendering any aspect of your ego, identity, personality, inner child stuff. And you can see how the person's just free falling. You want to do it as willingly as possible. Okay, and then the second card that was coming in, and this is what's going to replace it, is that you're stepping into a new beginning. This is Ace of Cups, ecstasy. And Ace of Cups is really a new beginning in your emotional body. So the more free you are of letting go of anything, past emotional issues and things like that, the more free you're going to be to start experiencing a higher level of ecstasy in your life and more emotional, like purity and grace and gratitude and love and these higher frequencies. It's like you're having an awakening right now, actually, on a soul level. And that this would be like a physical initiation kind of thing to do, is to go through your house and let go of stuff, because you're fixing to really, or you're in the process of opening up to new emotional energy that maybe is things even better than you could have imagined possible. So be really open to what would it take? This is a question that any of you can ask. What would it take? And then you blah, 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 whatever that is, right? So what would it take for me to let go of anything that doesn't serve me and to open up to a new life of ecstasy, joy, peace, etc.? What would it take for me to open my vision up to a life to be even better than I could have imagined possible? So that's what that's going to represent. And then the angel card that was coming in for you is blessing. And that's kind of the energy, is that you're literally coming in to literally be blessed. It feels like you've done a lot of things for other people. It feels like you've carried a lot of other people's burdens for them, and that you have supported people and done a lot of good. And it's almost like it's time in your life for those blessings to come back to you. So again, I'm opening for that lover above energy to come back to me. I'm open and willing to be blessed by the angels, by the universe, by source, by the world, by anybody or anything, as long as it's lover above. That brings you that higher ecstasy and relationship to yourself. Okay, we're good.
I love it. But I need a clarification card. I'm a little confused on a card. Let me understand it. Okay, got it. All right. So what I have for you, this is for Afia. I think that's how you say your name. I feel like with you, you've had a very interesting relationship with your mother. And the thing about it is, I feel like, without getting too deep. Oh, first I have to say thank you, Marianne. You are very correct. it was Aladdin and not Ariel. But I like the fact that it was Aladdin, but yet Ariel was on the rock. So I'm going to take both of them. I just wanted to say that. I thought that was very funny. So I do feel like with you that you've had a very interesting relationship with your mother, and that it's something that has weighed heavy on you. But I do feel like you've had many relationships with your mother in many lifetimes. I do believe in past lives. And so this is coming from my belief. Sorry if you don't believe that. Hence I go on. So I do think though that it's karma. It's like that's why is this something that was actually physically in your relationship, DNA wise, karmic wise, or is it something that maybe you're dealing with mother, maternal issues, that kind of thing? But it is definitely a lesson from your mother, because this is karma. This is the DNA. This is like, this is your actual mother who you've been dealing with. And I feel like there has been a lot of mistrust in the relationship, a lot of things that maybe has made you doubt. But I feel like you've done really, really well at being able to overcome that, and that you've been able to trust yourself more and more and more. And I feel like what your team wants you to know is that you're doing a really good job at that. Don't go backwards on that. Don't let anything take you off of the direction you're going, because you've made really big headway and you've really stuck to it. I feel like with me, this isn't about the Bible, but it is about the structure and the rules that we tend to put in place in our life, and how that tends to dictate our life, or the way that we see life. That could be very much in a box versus outside of the box. And I feel like through these two cards, this is about the lessons. And again, it's and Adrienne and I talk a lot about lineage, right? The way that we have been developed, or the way that we think, or our habits, or whatever, comes a lot from our structure of our family. All the things that we learned when we were a kid can still be in our nervous system down the line. And I feel like you're working on that. And it is about just trusting the direction that you're going, trusting your team and the lessons that you've learned. I also feel, again, with you, this is about don't do this alone, because I feel like you're really working at getting all of this stuff like situated out, all figured out within your head. But you've worked really hard at it, and you're starting to break the thinking patterns, the beliefs that are not really true about yourself. But yet you still feel like, there's still things that are like holding you back. You're not really sure about, you're a little bit uncertain about. Don't believe them. Trust, right? This again is about trust. Trust that you have learned those lessons, that you are moving forward. I think that justice will come. And for me, this isn't just about right or wrong. This is about you standing into your own. It's about taking your life back, about saying, hell no, I'm not going to follow this rule, or I'm not going to follow this belief system anymore. I'm going to break through, and I'm going to live the life I want to live. You're almost there. So don't give up. I feel like you have really high expectations, and sometimes your expectations are wrong or off. Not that you're wrong, but it's again, it comes back to the beliefs, right? What do we believe? What have we been taught? What have we been preached to for most of our life? What are those thoughts? What are those ideas that are playing in my head? How am I working those out? That's what you're working through. And that you really have to drop those old expectations and create new desires for your life. Don't live in what other people think you should do. Don't live in how other people think that you should live. Do it in the way that you want to live. Do it in your way. And through that, you work really hard at it, and just keep working. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. You have worked hard at it for many, many years. You think that, again, it's coming back to, this is a really big one with you. It's breaking those thought patterns and the old thought patterns and the old beliefs. Don't do that anymore. You just need to go in and trust now that you've learned these lessons and you can move forward, that you do have this within you. You have it within your heart, that you can move forward and you can break this chain. You can break the old way of doing things and then create a new way of doing things. And you have to trust that. Again, I have to come back to, you may have had, you had a contract with your mom about what you were here to learn. but don't put everybody in that category. I keep getting the feeling like it would be really easy to put everybody in this box, mom's box. And I'm not saying mom's a bad person. I just feel like, she had her way of thinking, and you want to come outside of that way of thinking. And so I feel like you need to bring people into your life that you can really trust, that you can talk to, that will understand what it is that you're going through and how you want to move forward. Don't stay in the paradigm that you were in. Go into your own new paradigm and bring in people that you can talk to about it, that will understand where you're coming from, that will hear you, but also will not just kowtow to you, not just make you feel okay, but will also communicate the good and the bad. You know what I mean? I have a lot of people, and Adrienne's one of them that I can talk to, and she'll give me that truth in maybe the other side of it. And that's what you really need to search, is somebody that will work with you in that way, somebody that will help you to see things from many different angles, or what the truth was about what was going on. Because oftentimes our idea of what the truth wasn't really the truth, that it could be something completely different that you just hadn't thought about, just something that didn't come to you. And by talking to other people, then you can understand things in a different way. So I hope that will help. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Roll. Yeah.
Sometimes you just have
good
to
information. Great information. You were just streamlining it. Yeah, it's good. So I was going to go back to Vivian. Vivian is on. Thank you for being on today, Vivian. So you got Angel showing up.
I haven't seen Vivian.
She was up a little higher. I know I got a little lost. Anyway, so Vivian, you have angels coming in for you. A lot of angels, always, because you have a lot of that angelic energy to you as well. So we're working with the angelic messenger cards for you here. And in that, you actually have 3 angels that were showing up. The first is magical number card 33, again, blending the nature kingdom in with the energy. So this is a card dealing with choice. And it feels like it's a lot about the type of choice we're talking about right now in terms of your angelic guidance, is actually the energy around your using of your free will, like the use of your free will, and remembering that your free will is yours to use, but that it mostly for you, a lot of it comes from your heart. So when you're tapping into your energy, you want to go to your heart a lot to breathe in. And for you, when you tap into your heart, that's where you kind of get that divine download. And then that's going to help you make choices in your life right now that are going to be, it feels like you're making some new choices differently than maybe you would have in the past. Whether it's in relationship or work, or just how you're sort of navigating the world as a whole. So practice making choices. You are, like a rule of thumb is that we are, a universal truth is we are infinite beings. We have 100% awareness at all times about all things, and we have free will, right? So when you start to trust that you are an infinite being, and you actually already know what all the information is that you need, then your free will just becomes a very easy thing. So just practice that, and being kind of bold about it right now, because it feels like you're breaking through some barriers. The next energy that shows up in the angels is expression. So in using your free will, you're going to start expressing yourself, and it feels like a lot of that is coming from your own emotional relationship with life, and your emotions and your feeling tones, and being able to express your truth in the world in a way that it only has to make sense to you, actually. So if you're expressing yourself, express it, but it feels like you're actually quite playful, quite artistic, quite even sometimes just kind of really silly, and allow yourself to express whatever it is. But it just seems like it's very delightful, actually, in anything that you do, and to kind of lighten up the energy, to not overthink things, but in this case, almost be a little bit more in that magical child energy. Then your third angel is the angel of passion. So again, really amplifying that deep heart presence that's going on in there. How do I feel about this? What is my passion? How can I bring that to the forefront, using my free will as a divine energy to actually back and support you with that divine power so that your passions can be presented, in the world in front of you, particularly in this new earth energy. So follow your heart, follow your passion, use your free will. You're not going to ask, can I have this? It's more like, I'm doing this. I'm using my free will. I'm backing myself in this. So there you have it on the angel front.
I love that. Thank you. I'm looking one thing. So again, this is seems to be a theme tonight.
Who are you working with?
Oh, I'm sorry. That would help. Thank you. Barbara, I am doing a reading for you.
Barbara or Barbie?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Barbie. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Barbie. I might chime in on this one, by the way. So
thanks for keeping me in line. Okay, so for you, you have somebody who has been in your life that is not being totally truthful to you. You have somebody who is, I feel like it's almost like, I see like a shadow. It just feels like shadowy to me. Somebody who's not like being a chameleon, like being all things to all people kind of thing, and not really truly being who they are. But I feel like there's more of a non-truth kind of thing going on. I don't know how to word this because I don't want to get too negative, but I do feel like there's somebody in your life who is not being truthful and not being forthcoming to you and honest. I do feel like this, though. This is something that you're working on, and it's something that you know about doing. What is going on? I'm off on this somehow. I do feel like you're just not certain in the direction that you need to go or that you want to go. I feel like you know what to do, but you're questioning what to do. I do know that you are the main person in this. So it's not about anybody else around you. It's about you. What is going to bring you the most love? What is going to make you the happiest? And you're doubting that. I feel like you're doubting the forward motion that you could go. I feel like you're doubting the direction. You're doubting yourself. There's something else you're doing. I don't think I quite have this yet, but hold on. Let me get to it. I will. I do feel like a lot of heartache has come from this whole situation. So I almost feel like you can see and hear the heart was stabbed. I feel like you do feel like you were stabbed in the heart, like something really took you off kilter that you weren't expecting or that you didn't see coming. And I do feel like it was the person that did this, but really it's not about you being weak. Are you being less than? Are you not being able to move forward? Because you are. I feel like this is more about, it's not about the misunderstanding of the person. It's about the misunderstanding of yourself. It's about the misunderstanding of what it is that you want or the direction that you want to go, or being clear about those things, or more clear about those things in relationships in general. I feel like with this situation, though, if you can stop and look at it, it's really interesting because that is the next card, a blessing, right? There's blessings that come from all these things. You could make this wish of making it all go away, or you can make this wish of pretending it didn't happen, or you can, you put whatever you want to put in there. But whenever we go through these experiences in life, we have to remember that they're just experiences. They're to teach us something. And I know it, trust me, I'm not saying that it makes it any less painful or difficult to go through when we have been betrayed. But I feel like this is something that has really helped you and blessed you and supported you to move forward. I do feel like through that, even though there's a wall up though here, and it could be misunderstanding, it's a path. It's a new path for you to go, because the lessons, like, you could go to the side of it, right, and go off the cliff and just give up and be like, I give up. Or you can like follow this new path. Where is this going to go? So you've opened up actually a direction for you to go forward. This isn't about this person or how you interpret it. It's about how you deal with it. So this can happen. We all have been stabbed in the heart. We've been betrayed by people. It's a part of being a human that we experience these things. But the whole thing is A vulture just tries to survive. A vulture is a part of nature. It cleans things up. A vulture helps with all of the dead around us, right? It just cleans it all up. That's their job. So that's not bad. The vulture isn't bad. It's the job that vulture is doing. It's how we handle it, though. So I feel like in this particular situation, this is you. You are the center of this reading. How are you going to take this? What direction are you going to go from here? How are you going to keep moving forward? That's what you really want to ask yourself, because you can make it into a good thing. You can make all of your wishes come true through this experience, depending on how you choose to sit in it. And again, it's about having good people around you. I feel like you do have good people around you, though. I really do. I feel like you've got very supportive people that are helping you through this situation or through this time of your life. And I feel like you pretty much know the direction you want to go. I still feel like you have some fog and uncertainty about the direction you want to go, or how you're going to get through it. I don't think you're to the other side yet. I do feel like definitely you're still towards like the middle of this particular situation. So I feel like if you keep moving forward, it really is going to be a really good life for you. You're going to get to the other side and you're going to bless the experience. So just keep moving forward. Have people around you that you really love and trust, and they'll support you and raise you up. And just keep doing what you're doing, because I feel like what you're doing is right. I feel like you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. I don't see you needing to have to change your route in a very big way. But I do feel like there's internal stuff that you need to work on, like not attaching to other people's opinion of you, or not attaching to what other people do to you. It's about their experience, not your experience. Because I feel like with your experience, you've got this real beauty about you, and you've got this real love to help people and to support people. I almost feel like you could be like a nurse. Like, I don't know if you do that, but I do feel like you're that kind of healing person where you can just make people feel good just by you being there, and that you intuitively know what to do to help them. So I do feel like you just moving forward will take place, and there will be a lot of healing, and that you will come out a winner in the end. You're going to be just fine, and it's going to be really beautiful on the other side. So just keep moving forward.
That was awesome, JoAnne. Very
Thank you.
cool energy. Yeah. I'm just going to jump in really quick just because I know Barbie. Anyway, Barbie. So what else shows up in your energy field? And you got one card from each of the decks. So we got the Sacred Rebels card, Sacred Rebels Oracle. And on that card, you had the energy of, what do you feel? So really looking at that energy for yourself. What do you feel, and really having clarity about that you got the whole world kind of in front of you, and your feeling is the way you're going to be able to really ground out the energy right now, is what do you feel, and getting clarity, not so much necessarily in the mind, but more probably in the heart. What do you feel about something? And then the next card comes in from the Voyager Tarot cards, is the Hierophant, that you're actually evolving right now. And a lot of what JoAnne was saying, it feels like it's kind of a bit of an initiation or a trial that you're going through right in this sense. And that you're evolving yourself from the Buddha child to the Buddha master. So stepping into the Hierophant, stepping into that mastery self, and being able to teach and bring consciousness and wisdom to others in their energy field. But all that's going on, again, that JoAnne was talking about, is your initiation right now to come back. And then the Angel card that kind of brings you full circle is the card of tenderness, and just really opening up to be tender with yourself. And the more tender you can be with yourself, the more safe you're going to feel to see how you feel about something. How you feel opens up your crown chakra to bring in the wisdom of that claircognizant knowing about what is in your life, but also the whole situation and other people. And it just kind of weaves through it all. So anyway, wanted to chime in.
Love it. I'm going to pull a card for everybody just for a message. Did you want to do a card do you want to do a reading for anybody else?
I think we've mostly gotten through what the first time readers, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Let me do. How about if you want to do a reading for everybody, just in general, for, I don't know, the next week, or just maybe inspirational reading?
Okay, yeah. So the card that shows up is the energy of the Guardian, and it's all about the Guardian is the woman of crystals, and where she is staying focused on herself. She's staying focused on her path and her direction right now. And so if we were to look at it kind of for all of us in the group, whether you're listening to this or maybe you listen later to the energy, to really be able to be in your energy, be true to yourself, and be in alignment to the vision that you actually really want to fulfill in your energy around kind of your own higher truth, that you know what your higher truth is, and your higher self can work with you on that. To go along with that, with the sacred oracle cards, is the power of attraction. And partly with that energy, I'd say that you're actually becoming your best self right now. So when you stay focused on your life path and the higher vision of your life, because there's a lot of transitionary energies. So when you stay focused on the higher vision of your life and don't get caught up in all the negativity, fear, discord, humanophobia, you're going to be on path, and you're going to become, in a sense, kind of your own best reflection, your own the one that can actually be there for you the most is your own inner self right now. And that's going to go a long way. It's going to create a sense of wholeness for you, an inner peace and wholeness that then, if you choose to bring other people into your life on whatever level that could be, that you're doing it from a sense of wholeness, being congruent with yourself, and being compatible to your own true presence first and foremost. And then in the angel card that comes up, it is the energy of wholeness. So right now we're on a journey of wholeness within ourselves in this particular group, and kind of quantum prayer field we've sort of set up for everybody to be blessed. And so we can ask the question, what would it take for me to stay focused on my higher vision with my true self, being in the energy of my own wholeness, and clear anything in the way of that, asking the universe to download us with all the right frequencies, the perfect frequencies for each of us individually that are going to help with us coming into alignment with our true reflection, true self, wholeness. And it's cool because in wholeness, gratitude is one of the concepts of wholeness. But when you're grateful for the world, the things that are coming towards you, that lover above energy, you may not even know what it is yet, but when you're grateful for it, whenever we receive, it's because of wholeness. And so when you come into wholeness with yourself, you're actually receiving the best life has to offer, what's even better than you could have imagined possible. So that might be the kind of the affirmation, in a sense, is, I am whole. I'm already whole, and merging with yourself. Yeah. JoAnne, anything you want to?
I love that. Yes, I do. Which just goes on to yours. I love these cards. Look how beautiful this is. So it's positive minded people. So it's really about, I'm going to read a card with a quote, but hold on. I know how to do this. Okay. Yeah. Look at how beautiful those bubbles are with the fairies that are in there, and the positive people, and just the beauty within this card. So this is a time period really to go back to the more positive, right? Be more positive as much as you can. Be with people of positive minded thinking. Don't hang out with people that are negative if you possibly can do that. And
amen. Well, I'm all about that, JoAnne. Down with it. Yeah.
I take a day to slow down. I need to hear this. Slow down, recharge my spirit. Resting feels good. So take time to slow down and recharge my spirit. Sorry. Resting feels good. So only be around positive people as much as you can. If you really are with people, like we had a couple that were really dealing with a lot of yucky stuff right now. So really try to bring the people that are really positive, around you, and hang out with them and talk with them and be with them. And, really try to get as much of that energy, and really take time to slow down and rest. I know this is something that I have trouble doing. But really take that time to slow down for yourself and recharge, like let your spirit rest. I think that was the theme from the beginning when we started. So really take this time to do that.
Yeah. And sometimes, an easy way to do that is to try to go to bed 1 hour earlier.
Yeah.
And your whole system kind of resets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And don't get up at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, and don't get up at 3. Yeah, true that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here with us and letting us like share this time with you guys. It's really an honor and it's a privilege to be able to do this with you guys and that you trust us enough. And I just really put, so much gratitude and love. So thank you. And thank you, Adrienne, so much for playing with me tonight. This is the
Oh
first
my
time we
gosh,
did it. It
it's
was
so much
fabulous.
fun and just such beautiful energy with beautiful souls. I'm just sending you all my love, all my love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, take care. Have a really good weekend. Make sure that you rest and do what is the most loving thing for you. It really does work.
Magic words.
Okay. Bye, everybody.